Hi friends, it's Gwen. Today I'm going to be wrapping up the books that I read in March. I read 5 books and 2 additional books, kind of, sort of. You'll see what I'm talking about. But the first book that I read in March was Fairest by Marissa Meyer, and I really enjoyed this book. It wasn't quite what I was expecting, but I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars, so I still really liked it, and I do have a review of this on my channel, so if you're interested in that, check it out. I will have the link in the description box. The second book that I read actually put me in a reading slump. I haven't been in a true reading slump in a very long time. I mean, I've had months where I haven't read as much as other months, but it wasn't due to a slump. It was just due to being busy or, you know, school, work, just kind of juggling my real life. But this book actually put me in a reading slump, and that book was Tears of Tess by Pepper Winters. I do have a review of this on my channel, and I will have the link in the description box if you are interested in that. This book was totally not something that I was used to reading. It's a new adult contemporary dark romance. It does deal with some sensitive issues, but it was so good. I know I was supposed to read In the Afterlife by Alexandra Bracken and finish up that series, but that wasn't happening, guys. I read a couple of pages of it. It didn't happen. So I picked up a little tiny book on my shelf that I was hoping to save for Halloween or October time. It's The Turning by Francine Prose. I do not have a review of this on my channel, but if you're interested in that, just let me know in the comments below. I ended up giving this book, I believe, a 2 stars. Yeah, it was pretty terrible. The only redeeming factor is that it was set on an island that just had one house, and I thought that was pretty cool. Then I still had to complete my TBR jar challenge, which was to read a book over 500 pages. Yes, I think I said it right. I always think I say 100 plus pages, but it's 500 plus pages. So that was my challenge for my jar for March, and the original plan was to read In the Afterlife, and as I have said, I was unable to get into the story. I was still in a little bit of a reading slump, but I figured I've had this book on my shelf for a while. It may or may not be a little bit easier to get through because of the way it's written, and that book was Perfect by Ellen Hopkins, and this is the first book that I have read by her. I do not have a review of this up on my channel yet, but I do have one written on my blog that's supposed to come out sometime this week. So when that happens, I'll try to remember to put the link in the description for my blog review, but I may or may not film a review for this. Just let me know if you'd like one down in the comments below. But this story follows 4 different people, and they're all 4 high school seniors, and their goal is to be perfect. Kara is more of like the beauty queen type, so she deals with body image and eating disorders and plastic surgeries and things like that. And then there's Kara, who is, she was dating a person, but then she broke up with him because she fell in love with a girl, so she's bisexual, and she's a twin, but her brother has his own issues, so she's dealing with like overcoming that and being bisexual and feeling comfortable in that. And then there is Andre, who is a dancer, and he doesn't want to like tell his parents. They're like really prestigious parents, I think, like that. And then the other one is Sean, and he is the star athlete, baseball star. He ends up taking steroids, and you can imagine that crazy path that he sends himself down. But it was completely beautiful and romantic and tragic all at the same time. I absolutely loved this. It is written in verse, as her books usually are. And like I said, it was my first Ellen Hopkins, my first book written in verse, but what I really liked about it is that she changed the font for each person, so you really knew whose story you were in. And you also really got to know the characters, which I loved. But there were some side characters that I wish I knew a little bit more about, and that they kind of had their own, you know, story within this book. And another thing is that even though I loved the ending, I loved the ending. It was so beautiful and all the feels, but I wish that some of the other stories would have had more of a resolution, you know, to finish it out, and I felt like that was missing. So it wasn't a 5 stars for me. I believe I gave this either 3 or 4 stars. I think 3. I did really like it. I do recommend it if you deal with perfection issues, eating disorders, drug use, just feeling like you're not good enough. I mean, this was really beautiful. I've heard that this isn't her best book, so you don't want to judge this book, based on her other books, or judge her other books based on this book. But in the back, it did have a little sneak peek of Smoke, so I got to read that, and that was quite interesting. It was totally different than this one. I think this is because it was broken up into like 4 different people, and they were each telling their story, but it would ping pong back between each character. It'd have a little bit of Kendra, then a little bit of Andre, then a little bit of Sean, and the stories kind of interwove, and I really liked it, but I don't know, it's probably not for everyone. But it did meet my goal of the 500 plus page book because it has 622 pages. So yay me! Then I ended up getting a couple of books for review. The first one wasn't really a book, and I have talked about it already, I'm pretty sure, in my haul video. All-in-one stationery kit from The World Needs More Love Letters by Hannah Brencher. I think that's how you say her last name. But this is just a stationery kit. I did show a little bit more about it in my haul video. So if you're interested in that, just check out the link down in the description box. I'll go ahead and link that for you. And I also talked about this in my haul video. It is Pure Food by the founder of Pure Bar, Veronica Brosgraf. And I talked about this, I believe, in my haul a little bit more. But it's a recipe book. It's vegan, vegetarian. It's broken up by month. I really enjoyed both of these. Actually, I gave this 5 stars just because I think all you need is a pen and a stamp and you're good to go. And it's super cute and the pages are really colorful. And then this one I'll probably give 4 stars. The only downfalls that I found, and I did write a review of this on my blog, so I'll try to post that as well. Man, I'm going to have a lot of links today. But I loved the recipes. They seemed simple, but if you're not familiar with these ingredients, they really don't tell you like how to prepare them or where to get them. It's just an ingredient list, and the ingredient list is usually a lot smaller than this, and then it does have the step-by-step, but it doesn't have any like pictures or illustrations. The only pictures in the book is this little insert in the middle, and it's only 16 pages. That's including front and back, so it's only 8 pages front and back for a total of 16. But I do like that it's broken up by month for the freshest, most seasonal fruits and vegetables. I really liked that. So if you're looking for a vegetarian cookbook or to eat more, raw, healthy stuff, I would recommend this. The last book that I read in March is one I loved so much. I only gave it 4 stars, but I loved this book, and I can see it easily being in my top books of 2015, and it was also the first time I have read this author. That book was Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. I loved this book, you guys. It is definitely YA. It is contemporary. It's really, I think it would be really fun to read it in the summer when you're kind of looking for things to do in the summer. It's totally one of those take to the beach reads, read outside at a park. I mean, this book was so lovely. Not only is the cover absolutely beautiful, but the inside, I will take the dust jacket off for you. So this is the cover, and this is the inside of the dust jacket. And I loved this book, you guys. It was so cute. It's basically about Emily and Sloan, but Sloan disappears all of a sudden out of Emily's life at the beginning of the summer, and she leaves Emily this list of things to do this summer, and they're things that she has previously not done or she's scared about doing, and some of those things include apple picking at night, dancing until dawn, and kissing a stranger. She ends up setting out to cross all these things off her list in hopes of finding her best friend Sloan. Along the way, she ends up making friends with some other people, and it's really cute and fun. One of the best things about this book is it had playlists in it. and it had several of them. I'll show you one. This is one right here. It's Emily's running playlist. So she's a runner. So she has the name of the artist and the name of the song that's on her iPod that she listens to when she runs. And there's actually several. I think there's 5 playlists in this book. And I have been so gracious, and I have created those playlists, and I have them all on my channel. But to find the playlists, you have to hop over to my blog, which you can find at gbshortcake.com, and I just actually posted it on Monday, March 30th for my blog post, and it's my review of this book, and it has links to all of the playlists from this book. So if you're interested in the playlists or my thoughts on this book, definitely hop over to my blog, check those out, and let me know what you think. Those are the books that I read in March. I hope I have a better reading month in April. I hope I'm out of my reading slump completely, which I think that I am. And I'll do my April TBR probably in another video. I'm not sure if I'm going to do an April TBR because I have found that when I do TBRs, I don't actually stick to them. So I may not do it, but what I will do is I will post what I got for my April TBR jar challenge on my Instagram, so you need to go over there and subscribe to me, and that is at Lavender Mud, and then you can see what I picked for April. And also we are reading Under the Never Sky by Veronica Rossi for the Novel Bunch. So if you're interested in that, the link to the novel bunch, as always, is down in the description. So feel free to join us there if you haven't read it already, or if you want to talk about it, fangirl about it with some of us. We will have a spoiler thread and a non-spoiler thread. So there you go. That's probably all I'm probably not going to do in April TBR now. But if you're interested in one, you really want me to do one, just leave it in the comments as always. But that's it for today, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye!